कि जिंदगी मेरी सौ ख्वाहिशां, हाय कि जिंदगी मेरी सौ ख्वाहिशां, मैं पूरी करां जिंदगी मेरी।
Hello, I hope all of you are doing good, taking care of yourself and also preparing for the exams, right? That's all you have to do. That's your full-time job actually. Anyway, in today's video we are going to start with a topic called methods of charging. But before I get into that, let's quickly see what all we discussed in my previous video. We talked about what is charge, how objects gain charge, and finally we learnt about properties of charge. All those things we learnt about in previous video. So I'm going to erase that. And most important part of previous video was about properties of charges. We basically tried to get to know what charge is, okay, in previous video. Anyway, next topic is, okay, fine. So we learned what is charge, we saw how charges, like how objects obtain charges, and we saw properties of charges, fine. But we left one important question unanswered, that is, how do you charge objects? Right? To answer that, there are three fundamental methods, at least as discussed in NCERT. There are three fundamental methods. One is charging by friction, then you have charging by contact, and then you have charging by induction. Okay, let's see them one by one. Very simple, very simple. I'm not going to spend too much time on those topics which are not very important. Okay, fine. Anyway, listen. Charging by friction, in a way we've already seen the process of charging by friction, right? That is, say you have a glass rod, or forget that. You might have done this as a small kid, right? Maybe take comb and comb your hair, or take a scale, rub it against your dry hair, and take bits of papers, and when you bring it close to that, those papers will get attracted towards the scale or comb, right? So what actually has happened here is, when you rub the comb against your dry hair, what actually has happened is, some electrons have moved from the comb onto your hair. They get transferred. Electrons get transferred. So the electrons have moved away from the comb, leaving the comb positively charged, right? So basically this friction created some kind of charge on the object. That itself is charging by friction. Other methods, examples of charging by friction is, take a glass rod, rub it against fur. The glass rod will gain negative charge. So basically you're creating friction to eventually gain charge. That is charging by friction. Pretty simple, right? Next, charging by contact. This is also simple. Listen, something like this. You have a conductor. This conductor is supported by some kind of insulator. So insulator, conductor. Okay. All you have to do in order to use charging by contact method is simply this. Bring an object which is already charged. And bring this object in contact with this. Basically touch this to this object. Touching, you're bringing it in contact, right? When that happens, so immediately, see, this being positive charge, that means this object lacks electrons. There are less number of electrons than the protons. So this lacks electrons. So what will happen when you bring this in contact with this is, electrons will start moving from this neutral object which is not charged right now. I want to charge this object by contact. So electrons from this object will shift to this object, right? But see, this object tried to neutralize this. That's why it was giving away the electrons. But while trying to neutralize this, I think this object itself lost some of its electrons, right? So this has lost some electrons. So this right now has less number of electrons than protons, making this object positively charged. Simple as that. This is called charging by contact. So basically, you bring an object in contact with the neutral object, a charged object in contact with the neutral object, and keep it there for a brief, and then the neutral object will eventually get charged. This is called charging by contact. No fancy name, charging by contact, right? Anyway, next one, however, is interesting. Please listen to this carefully. Third one is called charging by induction. This gets interesting. Okay, I'm going to erase these three. Please listen. Charging by induction, listen to this carefully, is something like this. So what you'll do is, again you will take a neutral object. You will take a neutral object, place it on a insulating stand. Neutral conductor, insulating stand. No charges. And by no charge, I mean equal number of protons and equal number of electrons. That's why no net charge. Let's say there is 1 million of electrons, there is also 1 million of protons. So it is electrically neutral right now. Let's see, charging by induction. So what I'll do now is, I'll bring another charged object. A charged object, I'll bring it close to it. First of all, this is, in the beginning, this is isolated. But what I'll do is, I'll eventually bring this object from far away, a charged object from far away, and eventually I'll bring it pretty close to it. I'll bring it close, not touch. If you touch it, then it is charging by contact only, right? You don't want to do that. But charging by, in case of charging by induction, what you do is, you bring a charged object pretty close to an uncharged object. Now, as a result of this, what will happen is, please listen to this carefully. Electrons, before you brought this, electrons were equally, almost symmetrically equally distributed, right? But when this comes closer, the electrons have a tendency to get attracted by the positive charge, right? And as a result of that, the electrons will get crowded in this region, right? Electrons will get crowded in this region because of the affinity towards the positive charges. As a result, if electrons are moving on that side, leaving a scarcity of electrons on this side. So we have less number of electrons on this side and more number of electrons on this side, making the object polarized. This is called polarization. Electrons getting, negative charge density getting on one side, positive charge density getting on the other side is called polarization. Okay, so once you polarize the object, now what will happen is, now what you can do is connect this side to earth. This symbol is called connecting it to earth or earthing, connecting it to earth. You might have heard this word, earthing, right? Now please listen, what earthing is. Now please listen, I'll deviate from this a little bit. I'll come back to this in a minute. What earthing does is something like this. Please listen. Earth is an infinite source and sink of electrons. Earth is an infinite source as well as sink of electrons. Meaning, Earth, if there is a demand, Earth can supply you infinite number of electrons. So it becomes a source of electrons if there is a demand. And also if there is a demand, Earth can accept all the electrons that you can give to Earth, right? So it's an infinite source of electrons as well as its infinite sink of electrons. Based on the situation, it can act as a source as well as sink. Basically, it can give you as many electrons as you like, or it can take as many electrons as you give it to Earth, right? Fine. Now, what will happen is, why this will happen? Please listen carefully. Let's say you take a charged object. When something is positively charged, what does that mean? Less number of electrons than protons, right? You have removed some electrons, that's why this object has gained positive charge. Okay, fine. Now connect this to, the moment you connect this to Earth, the Earth will have a tendency to neutralize this object. Now why this neutralization? Please listen to this carefully. Every object would like to be electrically neutral because electrically neutral objects are more stable. And everything in nature wants to be as stable as possible, right? So stability, for stability reasons, what will happen is, Earth in this case, what do we have? We lack electrons here. There are less electrons. We have a scarcity of electrons here. So what will happen in this case is, Earth will start supplying electrons. As a result of that, eventually this object gets neutralized. Do you understand? Fine. Can I also connect a negatively charged object to Earth? Yes, totally. I can connect a negatively charged object to Earth. I'll take a negatively charged object. Let's say I connect it to Earth. Once I connect it to Earth, now I have excess of electrons. So since Earth is not only the source of electrons but is also sink of electrons. Now what will happen in this case is all the extra electrons will start moving towards Earth, right? So extra electrons move towards Earth, making number of electrons equal to number of protons, right? So job of Earth is only this, that it will eventually end up neutralizing the material. Actually it's more than that, but for now this much is enough. Okay, yeah. Now let's see what happens in this case. Now we'll get back to the topic. Topic was charging by induction. So what we did, first we had a electrically neutral object, we brought a charged object close to it. As a result of that, the object's charges got polarized, and now I have connected this end. See, this region is predominantly positive, this region is predominantly negative. When I connect this end to Earth, Earth will see scarcity of electrons. Actually there are equal number of electrons overall, but in this region Earth feels that there is less number of electrons here. So what Earth will do is, it will start supplying the electrons, thinking that this is not neutral. Actually it is neutral, but since this side is polarized, right? So Earth will send electrons. Once Earth sends electrons, as a result, if you see, at the end of the day, if you keep it in contact to Earth for a while, what will happen is, at the end of it, notice, like I said in the beginning, before you brought this in contact, before you brought this close to it, there are equal number of protons and equal number of electrons, right? But now Earth has sent extra electrons, thinking that this needed electrons. Actually this did not need any electrons, but Earth thought like that. Earth thinks, right? Anyway, so it sent electrons. As a result, overall you will have excess electrons. Now you can throw this object away. You can throw this object, like you had placed it close to it, right? You can throw it away, leaving behind extra electrons. Do you understand? This is called charging by induction. Neutral object, charged object, bring it close, hold it there. In the meantime, connect this end to Earth, throw it away, you have charged object. Do you understand? That is charging by induction. I hope you understood this, right? Okay, now what we have done so far is only getting to know charges. The real thing of electrostatic starts now with the concept called Coulomb's law, which I'll discuss in my next video. Okay, in the meantime, if there is any doubt, please put it in the comment section. I'll try to answer that. And also take care of yourself. Goodbye.